Hi there, this is Sarah. Today I will take you through to the trading ERP system. So we will see today how the business day software helps with trading ERP system. Okay, so if you see over here, we have the integration touch points for CRM. So we will start with the calling list, okay, and then the calling list. So this particular picture depicts, how the process actually works. So this is the calling list. The next we will have the leads. So the calling lists are converted to leads, and then the leads can be converted to customer accounts, opportunities, and customer contacts. And then once the leads have been converted to accounts, you can go ahead and create a sales order. So this was the sales management part. And also we have the CRM supporting modules, which would include the forecasting, mass mailing, adding cases into the system in case of any customer inquiries or complaints. Then we have territory management and the Salesforce management. So this is the calling list part. So basically this submodule of calling list helps you to import all the cold calling leads into the system. So the list of all the records or list of all the contacts that you have which you have not called yet, you can go ahead and import. So the system also has this import tool facility which helps you to import the leads in import the calling list into the system. The next we will have the sales employee can add a number of activities and take follow up. So activity history, this is nothing but you know you, on a particular calling list or on a particular calling record, you can go ahead and perform different activities. So those activities will be seen under the activity history. And if you see over here, the manager can also assign those calling lists using an option, using this option to a particular sales group or a particular employee. The next we will have the leads. Once you have established a contact with the calling list, you can go ahead and convert that calling list to your potential lead. So if you see over here, using this option, calling list can be converted into leads. Using this option, leads can be converted into, again, further the leads can be converted into sales opportunity. So sales opportunity is nothing but what is the potential opportunity or amounts that you're looking at from that particular lead, and then to accounts, and then you can convert that to contacts. So here, if you see over here, we have create mailing list to promote events and campaigns. So here you can create a particular mailing list and you can um, promote events and campaigns in the system. So different types of mailing lists can be created uh, with different databases of the customer. Next we have the opportunity. So what is sales opportunity? Once this sales opportunity, so basically the leads can be converted into opportunity. So here you can define the weighted amount, what is the potential amount that you're looking at, estimated closing days for that particular opportunity, what stage it is at, if it's the final proposal stage or the negotiation stage. So you can select that from here. And again, various stages and activities or number of quotations sent can be tracked over here. Next we have the account. So once you have closed a particular sales opportunity, you can convert that opportunity to your customer account. And once it's converted into a customer account, you can create a sales inquiry, a sales quotation, a sales order, and then this after you have fulfilled that order, you can convert it into a sales order delivery. Now the customer account has these details that needs to be filled, based with which comes with the address information like billing and shipping address. Contacts. So you can go ahead and create your customer accounts to your customer contacts. And again, you can create mailing list to send promotional events using this mailing list. So different types of mailing lists can be created if depending upon the type of customer. And if you see over here, we have Outlook and Skype, which are linked with the application, so that you can, just by clicking on it, you can see their email ID, you can send email and phone number. It will send an email, or you call using Skype. So you can also contact your clients using the Skype option from here. So directly a Skype call. Next, we have the cases. Now cases, so if you see here, there is a process. Service request is added. So the system has an option or submodule named service request, wherein in case if there is any customer inquiry or any service request from a customer, you can go ahead and add a service request, a new service request into the system, and that can be assigned to a service personnel. Now, service request is linked with case management, wherein you can track the number of cases against service request. So once you add a service request, you assign the service request, and against that service request, you can add cases into the system. And again, the number of cases can be tracked into the system against the service request. Next, we have the customer credit management. So the customer credit management is a very unique feature of this software, which helps you to manage the credits of all your customers. Okay, so if you see over here, this diagram depicts how the customer's credit limit gets exceeded. So the credit consumed here is about $4,500, and then the credit consumed is the next credit is $3,500. So it's a cumulative credit of $8,000. Now the credit consumed is $5,000 again, then the cumulative credit comes to $13,000. So then the customer's credit limit gets exceeded. How it works in the system, I'll show you over here in the next slide. So if you see here, we have the customer account. Now here, if you see, the credit block is on. Credit limit is about 50,000. Pending credit limit. So because the credit limit has actually negative here, because there is the credit limit action that was selected here was no action. So once it reaches the credit limit, you can either give a warning, or you can select this block option, so that the customer's credit limit gets blocked, and there would not be any sales order in any sales order that would get generated if the credit limit is being exceeded. So this is how you can manage the customer credit in through the account. Next, we have the inventory process flow. So the inventory process flow helps you with vendor management, procurement system. Okay, so if you see over here, this diagram depicts how the goods are being received, issued. Then you can create a sales order, a purchase order. So we have the inventory management system over here. We have the sales management system and the procurement management system. We have the customer side over here and the vendor side over here. So we have the vendor master, the customer master, the item master. The goods are received and issued from the inventory management system. Sales orders and purchase orders are also being created. Next, we have the product master management. So an item master will contain all these fields that you see over here. So these are some of the fields that the item master possess, which is the unit price, the unit of measurement, the purchasing unit of measurement, or the purchasing tab. We have the sales tab, so how you manage the sales unit of measurement, the inventory unit of measurement. What is the planning method? So if it's a raw material, then it definitely would be buying. If it's something that you make into your system, so it's definitely the make method, or something that you give for subcontracting, so that's the contract manufacturing method. So this is how you can manage the planning methods in the system. Then you have the warehouses, different warehouses that can be mapped to the particular item, the transportation, and then the accounting part. This is what an overview of a item master or product master that would look like. So if you see here, we have the unique item code over here. Then you have the barcode facility. So with the barcode reader, you can actually read that item. So this is our very unique feature of the software. So you can see over here how the barcode gets generated. Then you can map different warehouses. If you see here, we have different warehouses. You can map the warehouses over here, depending upon which inventory is in which warehouse. And then We have the purchasing, the sales, and the inventory trap, the planning method as I informed. Okay, attachments and user defined fields. So user defined fields is something wherein you can define your own fields in, so in case if you want to, most of the features are already there in the software, which are enough to define a particular item. But in case if you want, if there are some products that needs some on different criteria, on the basis of different criteria you define your products. So user defined field gives you the option to define your product in your own way. So you can add different fields which helps the user to understand the products and its feature. Now attachments are nothing but wherein you can attach the pictures of the software. So for example, if a labor is actually working on the system and he has to make a particular product, so you can attach the picture of the product in this attachment, so the labor will get an idea how to make that particular product, how the product looks like, with the process of how you make the product. So you can attach different attachments into the system. Next, you have the vendor master. So you can maintain list of all vendors with the relevant supplier details. So all the vendors can be put in over here into the vendor master, same as that of the customer master. Next, we have the sales order creation and how you manage your orders. So sales order, uh, here you can create a new sales order, and you can, once the order is being created, okay, so while delivery you can, it can get converted directly um, to avoid any re-entry. So from here you can just go ahead and directly convert it to an AR invoice, a sales order delivery. And you can see over here that under the sales order list view, the status, accordingly, if you convert it into a sales order delivery, it will be, the status will change to delivered. And if you change it, create an AR invoice, it will say closed as invoice. So depending upon how you convert that sales order to an AR invoice or a delivery, sales order delivery, the status will change accordingly. The next slide we will move on to the AR invoice. So accounts receivable invoice basically. So here you should be able to see a list of all the accounts receivable invoices. So basically whenever the delivery has been done for a particular sales order, you can go ahead and either convert the sales order to an AR invoice, or you can also create or add an AR invoice from here, and accordingly you should be able to pull up the details of all the sales orders, like with reference of the sales order you can create an or add a new AR invoice into the system. So once you create the AR invoice, the journal entries for them automatically gets created, so into the system. So you don't have to actually go ahead and manually create journal entries. Depending upon what options you have selected for a journal entry, for manual or automatic, the journal entries will get created accordingly. So from here you can track your accounts receivable to ensure that the company receives payment for everything that is owed. So next is the purchase order to a supplier. So from here you from the purchase order master you can create or add a new purchase order into the system. So from here you can add it. Plus again, like that of the sales order, you can convert a purchase order to an accounts payable invoice or to a goods receipt transaction. Next is the list view of an AP invoice. So from here you can create a new or add a new accounts payable invoice. You can see a list of all the accounts payable invoices and the reference purchase order numbers. So these are the different reports. So the system has a few of the reports created. So you can see there are different reports. So this is sales order by delivery date. This is inventory by warehouse reports. So these are few of the reports. The system has the reports, plus you can create your own reports depending upon your requirement through our query designer engine. That we will go through in the next video. So these are some of the features of the trading ERP software. For more information, you can visit www.businesspointers.com or you can email us at demo@businesspointers.com. Thank you so much.